What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mind Fluxed podcast. This is episode 1. We are produced downtown in Indianapolis by Benji Got Beats. I am one of your hosts, Tristan Parmley, and my other host,
Josh Matthews.
Guys, if you've been following us on our journey, we've been recording Mind Flux for actually over a year, and we finally found our voice and how we wanted to present ourselves. And so we wanted to redo our first episode to give you guys the guide and the explanation of what this show is about, this brand is about, what you can expect from us, and what you guys will see in the coming future with all of our episodes and everything that we're doing. So the first thing I want to dive into, Josh, is, what is Mind Flux? What are we all about?
Yeah, so with Mind Flux, for one, just the first word, mind, right? So obviously, you can kind of pick up context clues. Like, we're going to be talking about the mind, a lot about the mind. But with that, the second portion of that flux means to change, to flow. So with Mind Flux, our whole thing with our name is just basically like, you have to learn how to grow your mind and expand your mind. And as you evolve, you have to change. You have to, flow, have new ideas flow through you, accept new ideas, reject old ideas for newer ones or better ones. So really with Mind Flux, our whole mission is to just, talk about the mind and what it takes when it comes to going through whatever it is you're going through, and even just like changing, because that's one big thing for us. Like, that's the reason we started this, because like we realized that, basically we can change our mind, and our mind is like super powerful, and it's been proven over and over again, and it's going to continue to be proven as we go through this journey. Right.
And what's crazy is, like, as we change it, like as we change our results or as we change our mind, we start to like change our results. Like, and one thing that I want people to understand about, the mind and everything that we're doing is we're not a motivational podcast. Like, we're not here to spit a bunch of a fire down your backs or whatever. Motivation is temporary. And what we want to do is really just level up your awareness. Like, that is forever. Once you become aware of who you are, how powerful you are, once you start to change, your beliefs and your understanding, like, everything starts to change for you. And I think a lot of people have like stories, about that going into their lives. But I think for us, like, the past year of, our first year, we recorded 46 episodes that are all in the vault. For anybody, listening to our new episode 1 and you're just now discovering us, you guys can get access to that. And, we'll announce that at another time. But all of those episodes, everything that we talked about, we actually go through because we're constantly changing. Like, I'm 23 now, you're 24. And, we've been to college, we've been athletes, we've started a successful business, we started a successful brand now. And it's like, we are constantly surrounded by change. And so the more we become aware of, the better we keep changing, the better results we get. And so I just want to like emphasize that, like, it's not the motivation, it's more of the awareness and our actual story, our actual journey in comparison to other people they might be listening to.
Right. Exactly. And like with that too, we talk about mind flux, we talk about changing, expanding our mind to get to where you want to be and changing it along the way. Our whole thing is basically we want to create independent thinkers, because like that's one thing for me and you that we just had an epiphany about in 2019, where it's just like, man, like we really are independent thinkers, because like no matter what, when it came to like how we grew up, we always like thought for ourselves, we had our own ideas. Like, I know for me personally, I know a lot of people. Tristan says all the time, like, I know a lot of people. I sometimes don't feel like it, but the thing is, with knowing all the people, I've never belonged to like a group. I've always been like the person that just, I'm cool with people, but I always have my own thoughts. I was never really influenced by others, even when it came to deciding to start this journey of just entrepreneurship. It was just my sole decision. It was nobody else's. Even when people said what I was doing was stupid, they didn't agree. I just kept my own, thoughts and ideas about it along the way. And I'm pretty sure you can relate to that same thing. Just like as you grew up too, it's just like, there's power in thinking for yourself, and there's power in just like developing your own thoughts, learning from others' experiences, either negative or positive, but like, molding your own thoughts to fit exactly where you want to go in life.
Right. And I think the thing is like, so like everybody, the difference is, and the difference like with this show and everything that we talk about on it is you and I, say kid A versus kid B, might experience the same thing, but come out in a totally different way. And why is that? You know, and we're not going to dive super deep into childhood or anything along this journey, but all of us and our community and everybody who thinks for themselves and everybody who comes into this is going to realize that their lives are running parallel to so many other people, but they want better results. And if you're going to get better results, you got to do something different. You've got to change something. Like, okay, you know, however many thousand people graduate college at the same time. Well, what's going to be the determining factor between your piece of paper and theirs? You as a person, you know, and you and I, we do think for ourselves, and so do the guests we bring on, the people we talk about, the community that we talk to. Like, we're always learning. We're always learning and trying to adopt ideas for ourselves. And I think that that's what's like unique, and that's what's different is I think a lot of people will take information and try to apply it. They'll take information from other people and try to apply it for other people. Whereas you and I have always been like, how is this going to benefit me and the people that I want to help? And that's part of what Fluxed is bringing that information, not telling you exactly what to think, but trying to show you a different way, maybe how to think about something a little differently. So then you can make your own opinion and you can make your own beliefs based on those same ideas, those same thoughts from us or our guests. And now you can make your own change.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, you done? But but yeah, I totally agree. It's just like, you know, and you said something very important, just like taking ideas and applying it to where it fits to you. You know, because I think, you know, now there's a lot of like, unauthenticity. Yeah, I mess up.
There's a lack of authenticity.
Yeah, there's a lack of authenticity when it comes to people, and like when they share their ideas, like don't get mistaken, because like a lot of times people share, like you're saying, share other people's ideas, but they don't really apply it in their own life specifically. So like has no weight behind it.
Right.
But like, you know, with that, it's just like super important. All the things that we talk about, right? So like, you know, if you listen to us, you know, from season 1, like Tristan said, all of our episodes are in the vault, but like you can get access to that, you know, as soon as we open that up for all of you guys. But like we talk about a bunch of different things and a bunch of different ideas. And these are ideas that we're speaking from the experience of like coming from our life. So like whether it is like discipline or perspective or obsession or the compound effect, whatever it may be, all of these ideas are ideas that we adopted and fit into our life in a certain way. And we're just sharing them. And what we want is kind of like for you guys to do the same thing. So like learn from our experiences, because like we're speaking of like what we're currently going through now or have been through. We're not speaking of what we see in the future. We're speaking of like exactly the journey we're going through, because I think it's like we think it's very beneficial to share that. Because I know for me, I wish I had like, you know, I wish I was able to hear from people my age going through what we're going through.
Exactly.
But like with that, it's just like every topic that we talk about is just like, you know, or even like the stories of our guests, like take the information in, and because like we're not telling you like what to think, we're telling you like how to think, and you know, and just giving our examples, and it's up to you to have those epiphanies and apply them in your life how you see fit.
Exactly. And I think the thing that about our experience too is just like some of our backgrounds. So like for everybody who doesn't know and comes across this journey, Josh and I are business partners. We met as random roommates in college. We're from totally different backgrounds. Like I graduated with 59 kids. You graduated with what, like 800, right? So we met each other in college. We're obviously totally different culturally. How do you even say that word? We can't mess up any words. Like we're opposites.
Yeah.
And we also think from opposite perspectives. We also speak from opposite perspectives. Like literally everything we do is polar opposites, but somehow we have a business partnership. You know, we've now invested over 6 figures into our business, and at 23 and 24, you've dropped out of college. I had a successful like athletic career. There's a lot of like experience wrapped in here, but we're also still currently doing it. And I think there's no discrediting to other people that you might listen to in terms of maybe entrepreneurship or in terms of mindset. I think a lot of people are great to listen to, but most people out there are 40, 50, 60, 70 who are sharing this type of perspective, and they're saying they're from a successful position already where they already have, a lack of fear. They already have money. They already have successful businesses, whatever it may be, whatever you're searching for, they already have. And they're teaching you or telling you how they would go about it now. But those rules don't always apply. We're in a different time, and instead of sharing what we would do, we're telling you what we are doing and what the people who we bring on are doing. So this is current and this is going to last, because the things that we're doing right now is what's going to get us results in 5 years or 10 years. And so when people ask us in 5 or 10 years, when we have those results, we can say, go back to 2020, go back to 2019 and watch our episodes from the vault and understand we started this journey a lot earlier. We're 5 years in now, just as personal development, but with this show and with our results in business, it's always growing. And we want you guys to always be growing too, and understand we're doing it with you.
Yeah, exactly. So like with all that being said, right, let's kind of like go into the expectations of what people can really expect from us. So like, the people who've been rocking with us since, the beginning of right before the start of 2019 till now, a year in, a lot of you guys already know what you can expect, a lot of more of the same, but like more amplified, I would say. But like for those people who, are just coming in, like what would you say people can expect? What's what's the main, well, we already kind of went over the theme, but like what's the big thing that people can expect week in and week out from our episodes?
I mean, constant change. Like, you're never going to get the same thing twice. We do float around that same message of thinking for yourself and choosing the way, you live and letting life happen for you, not life happen to you. And we talk about abundance. We talk about the universe. We talked about emotions and love. We talk about so much. And our guests talk about entrepreneurship and their journey and their business or their side hustle and their passion. We talk about all those things, but we never talk about the same thing twice. And we really never even say the same thing twice unless we're referring to another episode. So you can always expect to be learning something new and always be learning from someone else's perspective when we bring on guests. One thing that we did to really find our voice is, the first half of the year we interviewed guests the whole time. And the second half of the year, we only did, you and I. And now we have a very clear perspective of who we're trying to talk to. We want to speak to that person who stands out a little bit from the crowd. They know something's different about them, but they don't know what exactly it is yet. They know there's something great there and they've scratched the surface, but they haven't jumped off the porch yet, And so this is catered to you. This is catered to you, like an artist, a creator of whatever sort that means, whether you create a business or you just create, amazing work working with somebody else. And so our content will always be able to serve you and your journey mentally on what you're going through as you go, through this life. And that's like the big thing that I think that they can expect in terms of messaging.
Yeah, for sure. And like, even like, 100% with everything. It's like, even like the guests like we bring in, like you guys are going to be like, honestly, all our guests in 2019 were just like super fire, I think. Like everyone, and everyone was so totally different. Like,
exactly. Just change. It'll always be different.
Exactly. It's like, we had entrepreneurs, you had people who like, they work jobs, but like they're building brands on the outside of that. Or, people like our friend Marcus, right? He travels on tour with, a bunch of artists doing lighting. Honestly, so many people, past mentors of ours, or just like good friends who are like doing what they're supposed to do in terms of like, the whole message of kind of like what we're talking about. And, with that, that's what I'm most excited about. Like, especially now, like with, the new setup, it's kind of like we can have like a more of a conversation now.
Right.
So like when you guys go check out our old episodes, you'll see the old setup. So like now it's like we can actually face each other and feel each other's energy like back and forth and whatnot. So I'm pretty excited about that. And
a big thing you said too is like doing what they're supposed to do. Like those people in your life who are always taking a step forward. And if you're listening to this, you are that person for somebody. You already have taken the initiative to take on some new information, right? So because that you're already taking a step and doing what you're supposed to do. And I think one thing that we focus on, and I want to clarify this too, is success. And the true definition, or at least the definition that we subscribe to for success. And it comes from, Earl Nightingale, who said the definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. And the progressive realization, meaning the journey, it's not just point B. It's not just there. It's not just the place you want to go. It's everything that comes along with it on the way. And that's why we think it's so important to share our message now and share from a personal perspective, like as we go through it. So sometimes we don't even pick our topics till, that week of. We don't schedule way out in advance. We went live for 30 plus days straight just off the top of our heads about stuff, and had people from all over the world listening to it. So we know what, like, as humbly as possible, we know what we're talking about. And the guests we bring on do too, because they are people who are doing what they're supposed to do. They're the needle movers in their lives and in their friends' lives, and they're taking the right steps, and they are currently successful because they're on the journey, but they're also creating successes around them. So I think that that's an important thing that you guys can expect in what we talk about. But what about scheduling? You know, like, how often do we drop content? What kind of content, and where should they be keeping up with us at?
Yeah, so we'll be dropping weekly episodes every single week. And now that I'll mention it, we got the new setup now. So we normally do once a week. You can definitely expect once a week, every single week, no matter what, for the whole year. We did it last year. Nothing's going to change. But you can also expect, you know, a lot more episodes. So more than, you know, what we end on in 2019, like almost 50.
Yeah,
almost 50. So you can definitely expect most likely over 70 and probably 100. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get one every week. We have a pretty core topic we're always going to pick and like focus on, like you said, desire or obsession or passion or discipline or the compound effect. You know, we're going to focus on that, and we're going to bring a lot of information together. But we're going to try to squeeze in a guest every week too. And a lot of our guests will be able to come here downtown to the office and to our space. But a lot of them will be like Zoom recordings and stuff too, because we have people literally all over the world tapped into what we're doing now. So either way, the guests will be super high level. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Exactly. So like, I mean, and that's one, you know, facet, right? So like all of our episodes are on Apple, Spotify, everything. You can expect uploads on YouTube. So if you guys want to watch us visually and see our handsome faces, go ahead and watch us on YouTube. Even like social media, like we post pretty much almost every day. You can always expect content. Like you can like literally just know what's coming out. Like even turn on your post notifications. You know?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So and one thing too I want to highlight is like with all that, because obviously, you know, me and Tristan are, you know, the voice of this thing, but like we have a whole team that like helps us like drop content every week and create the clips that you guys see on our Instagram or on Facebook, wherever it is that you guys find us. You know, so I also want to give a shout out to Benji Got Beats. You know, he is our full, you know, podcast producer, manager. I mean, he runs a lot of the shit when it comes to the production of what we do. We also have Luciana, which is a very key role. She's all the way in New York. With Luciana, you know, she just randomly hit us up on Facebook. One day, had a call with her and found a way to incorporate her, and she, you know, helps us with our pre-calls for these episodes. Because like with these episodes, right, most of the time me and Tristan are going off the top of the head, but we are very anal when it comes to like coming in with a clear path and a clear, you know, topic and end goal of each episode.
Right, for the listeners.
Exactly. Because like we tried winging it when we first started. Like we literally used to decide the topic of our episodes like a couple minutes before starting.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the best service to you guys. So shout out to Luciano. We also have Ayana. She helps with a lot of the social media, all the content. Most of the content that you guys see are just like the posting going up, you know, it's Ayana. She's doing an amazing job. So like that's the team. Then it's me and Tristan, and I mean we definitely want to grow the team this year too, but those are definitely some key pieces that make all of this happen. It's just not me and Tristan, it's, you know, a whole team.
Right, exactly. And then within our business, we're growing that team as well. So you might see some additions come on with Flux as well, because this really was so crazy. This is something we invest into. Like we spend money to do this. We don't make any money from doing it. And even the programs and the things that we plan to create, which you'll hear more out of, are designed really to benefit the other people. Like almost always will be at a loss to start. And one thing about that, like in investing in it, our team, this is our passion project. We're building some pretty large companies, and we're doing a lot of stuff on the side, I would say. But like Flux is our passion project. This is where we like time stands still. So when we're speaking, you know, into these microphones, you're getting the best of the like what we've got, the best of the best, and we'll always get better. But this is where we want to be. This is what we want to do. And so, you know, the only thing that we ask from you guys is to send it to a friend. When you hear a new episode, when you hear a golden nugget, when you hear us on online, like send it and share it with a friend and grow that community, because the community that we've already built is pretty unstoppable. And imagine adding to it, and imagine all the people that are going to come and grow with it. As we go, you know, through this journey. So it's just one thing to remember. And then in terms of that social media that you mentioned, you can get us all at MindFluxed, MindFluxed. And that's our show. Do you think we forgot anything?
Yeah, we did. I think, you know, we should also make sure, like, if you guys like what we talk about, if anything resonates with you, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us, whether it's through Tristan's personal IG account, mine, or the MindFlux account. But most importantly, if you're watching this through YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, please. Or if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. We love any type of interaction. It doesn't matter, because it helps the quality of the direction of where we go. Or leave us a comment on YouTube. Leave us a comment, a review on Spotify, on Apple Music. The feedback is very, very important as we go through this. You know, we had, you know, some feedback in 2019, but we want more of it, because, like, we're here to serve you guys. Like Tristan said, like, a lot of this we're spending our money on and not making anything from it, just to purely serve everybody listening to this, because, you know, we had a lot of impact with this information. So we just want to spread it back tenfold. So if anything, please just interact and leave us some reviews and leave us some feedback, so we can keep continuing to grow and making this thing bigger than ourselves.
Exactly. Bigger than ourselves. That's the plan. That's where it's going to go. Awesome, guys. So in terms of that social, you can find Benji at Benji Got Beats, BENJY Got Beats. You can find me at Tristan is Thinking, TRISTAN is Thinking. And where can they find you, Josh?
At I am Josh Matthews.
I am Josh Matthews. And we may not change our Instagram handles all year. Hopefully we don't.
You know, it's crazy. Like 5 minutes ago while you were talking, well, before you got to this point, I was like, man, I was thinking, like, am I going to change my Instagram name?
Again this year. Well, right now, this is where you can find it. If not, you'll see it in the MindFlux bios. And we'll be good to go, guys. This is episode 1 of MindFlux, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.